Welcome to the VR Aperture. This is episode 1 of a new series on our PC build for it's inspired by the Half-Life Alyx release that's upcoming in March. And so there's going to be a modified liquid-cooled computer, very powerful. We're going to be using an i9-9900, and we chose the Z390 Aorus Master by Gigabyte to complement the 9900K. If you watched our previous video, we chose this motherboard because of its increased VRM, therefore improved power delivery system and more stable power delivery, and it's much better for overclocking. And that's what we of course intend to do with this when we're done. And we're going to start off by installing the i9-9900K into the Aorus Master and applying conductinaut liquid metal. And then on top of all of that, we have an EK Waterblock, specifically a monoblock, which will cover the CPU and VRMs, so just to overkill. I know there's lots of videos out there as far as applying conductinaut and doing PC builds in general, but if you have one of these EK monoblocks for the 1151 socket, then this might be particularly useful for you. And also if you have the Aorus Master or even the Aorus Pro and Elite, which they're going to be very similar to each other, and you want a specific tutorial for that hardware, this may be of use to you. So why don't we go ahead and kick it off. Now, we highly recommend this board, with the number of SATA ports and USB ports. They vary by a little bit from motherboard to motherboard, and so it's hard to choose, since there's an ocean of parts to choose from. Pick the one that's good for you and make sure that it's a good one. But if you're specifically doing this for overclocking on 1151 9th gen Intel processor, then this might be a good recommendation for you, this board. I'm gonna go ahead, we have that out. It's an interesting packaging. More stickers. All right. So here we are. It's the i9-9900K. All right, and we just close that over the top, just like that. And there we go. Here we are opening up the EK Waterblock, brand new out of the box. This is made specifically for the Aorus Z390. Isn't that pretty? It's kind of an inconvenient sticker placement there. Is that? Well, I guess I don't have to worry about it because it's not on the top of what's going to be making contact. So here the CPU is going to make contact And then here we have the VRMs. Those blocks will make contact with the VRMs. And if you want, for clarity, under here, these chokes here and here, this is the VRMs. So that's what we want to cool. These are actually specifically the chokes, and the part we want to cool is underneath there. The little ICs. So we're taking off this back plate so we can access the screws to the heat sinks on the VRM. We have two on top as well that we need to remove. See this? Nice. Good job, Troy. Okay, so now that back plate should come right off. In fact, falls right off. And this is the motherboard without the back plate. The peg right there, you can see it's attached to the VRM block, which means there's probably one just like it right there. This might also be one, and that's probably one as well. That's probably why they're circled. It's probably those four holding it on. So we'll go ahead and remove these. See that there's a screw right there. See that? Sure enough. Nice. Good job, Troy. Sure enough. So they're using some of these posts, the standoff post, to the motherboard to hold the I/O shield in. Hopefully the VRM block comes off. There we go. Very nice. Excellent. So I just want to take a look at the alignment here. So it's going to be going on like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little room and prepare the monoblock. First off, we have these little adhesive washers. These things are tiny and my hands are huge. And I got shaky hands on top of that. I'm really gonna have to stretch the thermal pads they've given us, because not only does it have to go here, but it has to go here as well, and it doesn't really look like they gave us enough for that. So that's gonna be here. Here, and then these ones down here. These ones here, I don't know if that's close enough for you to see. And this one all the way over there as well. Time to break out the conductor knot. All right, well, you've done this before, so have I, but you can tell me if I screw anything up. Oh, that's a big one. I can't believe you haven't seen anyone do liquid metal on the IHS. Like, Gamers Nexus has a kind of a lengthy video on this process. So this is going to be interesting because I got to place the block and screw it in at the same time. So I'm going to switch views. Okay. Now for the interesting part. Okay, just like that. Attempt to get these screws in there. here it is with the block on it. There we go. One completed monoblock. Of course, I still have to go back and put the I/O shield in the plastic housing around the I/O back on, but I'll spare you the tedium of watching me do that, and I'll go ahead and put the board back the rest of the way, including this back plate. So I checked no portion of the monoblock or any of the screws block the placement of reattaching the back plate. So like I said, I'll go ahead and spare you all that tedium, and we'll rejoin tomorrow and we'll move on to water cooling the GPU and attaching that to the board. Actually, we'll just attach the water block to the GPU and install the GPU once the motherboard's been installed into the case. Mr. Power, I appreciate you sticking it out with me and provided me some help along the way. Much appreciated. This is never done a build live before, let alone recorded. You know, when I made the machine that's here behind me, my 6700K with the GTX 1070, afterwards I wish I had documented some portion of it, or at least, you know, recorded it. Went ahead and, since I have all this new recording equipment with the regular channel, the news that I tried to cover, I thought I might try to do this live. It was interesting and sometimes nerve-wracking. So thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow.